Out that fun, bringing it out, giving it that impact. I love it when I go to an art show and I've got my paintings here in a nice setting, and someone walks by and all of a sudden I take a second look. Oh my gosh, I love the light in that painting. And that's my favorite thing to hear. I love the light. I love the light. I love the way you put the light. That's a great comment. So don't be afraid of light. And see this limb right here that comes up, I want to be sure we identify it. Definitely as one that's connected to the log. So we make it a little brighter. And so I can even pull it down. I just pull a little circular. See, it looks like it's attached into the part of the log, not just on the edge. That's a little trick. That's kind of a foreshortening little deal. Brighter highlight, little chips of light. Okay, and we're getting there. Don't cover up your shadow. It makes the shadow show up a little bit better too if you just skim the highlight on there. And this is basically the same thing we do with the animal. Just put some little highlights here and there and you got it. Okay, I'm going to do this here. A little bit more there. I like it a little bit brighter. A little brighter. And we're just about ready to move on. But it's worth it. Worth all the effort and the time. Okay, now see that log popped out. I like the way that's looking. By the way, now your next step, I want to see this little spot right here. Well, we need to pull up some grasses in front of that, but I want to darken it first. Take my number 4 bristle. Take a little blue, brown, and the dark, both blue, the ultramarine and the turquoise, and a little purple. And we're going to darken this right in here real good. And while this is drying, we'll go back and work on the animals a little bit. So this sounds kind of scumbling. Just got to get this log just a little bit darker in here. Don't try to smooth it. You want it to be chunky and rough like this. And you might see another piece of a limb sticking out there where it's kind of broken. But we got to get a little more contrast down here against this dirt. There we go. Yeah, see, we're going to put some grasses and stuff in here. But by doing that, see, that sets it down in there and makes it settle. Alright, now while that's kind of setting up for a minute, let's take a round, this is the number 4 round sable. What you're going to do now is go starting on her rear end right there. This is called the accenting. It's the same as the silver lining on the clouds. Take a little white and yellow. And all you're going to do is make some fun little accents, just quick little tips of light like this. Just to bring out the edge. Now, it's not an outline, so I don't want anyone to misinterpret this. This is kind of a little sticky line that you put in there to just kind of form the edge a little bit so it stands out against the background. So it's broken. It's not just a solid line, just a little touches like that. See how it forms this edge of her hindquarters right there? And then just get my arm around here a little bit, then just tap it. With the finger and blur it just a little bit. You can bring it in a little further if you want to here and there just to kind of break up the monotony of the solidness of it. But that works real good for giving us a little bit more character. Same thing up here on her neck. You want to take a little bit of that same tint. And basically this is how you finish out your, so what you get up here behind her ear. Maybe around the ear a little bit, kind of flip out some of the highlights of the fur, kind of fuzzy. Accent this. Also right there, that's on the back side of him. But see how that kind of makes it look like the sun's hitting the edge of them, and that's what dimensional items makes it really pop. And that's a good spot to do that right up here on his, around the edge of his mane right there. See? Take this brush and kind of skim these little bright highlights right around this edge here. Now this where you can pull out. Yeah, just brought that little bit of highlight out there. almost kind of like the winds maybe getting it just a tad. See, this is it, folks. This is how you finish it. It's a matter of how you interpret the finish. I mean, do you want more light? Do you want less light? You know, you might want to come in here, see now, and take these and just put some brighter little tufts of hair hanging out in certain specific places. Over here's a good spot probably where this is on this side. We're going to have just a little bit of interest down in here. They're kind of wiggling, kind of give them that little curly look. Isn't that neat looking? I just think that's amazing, the way it's just popping out now. Okay, now we're rinse that out. Let's go back to the white now. And this is rare, but you can use pure white as long as it's thinned down a little. And now I want you to come in here. I want you to put the final highlight on the edge of his nose right there, because it is whiter, and it's a little, wants to be a little softer and fuzzier like that. And you can shape it better too. If you're having a little problem with the shape and you want to correct it, this would be the time to do it. That could be a little shape issue going on here. I'm not real pleased with that. And now then you can go back with the dark. So at this point, what you'll do is you'll kind of bounce around. Okay, I want to open up a little slit right there that's between the nose and the mouth there. Yeah, that's better. See, I didn't have that looking real good earlier. I like that much better. And this is where you would kind of play with the shape of the nose if you need to bring the edges out a little bit or tweak the shape on the sides. Shape the eyes a little bit, put the slit down a little further, pull in the tear duct down a little more. You can do things like that. That's where you're at now, doing the little things that make you feel good. This should be dry enough now that I think we can go ahead and get some of our grasses down here. So let's go back to our number 10 chisel edge synthetic brush. And we're going to go down here right in this dark area of paint. Take the hooker's green once again, and the purple, maybe a little sienna. And we just want to go ahead and get a few grasses down here. We'll start with the base first. We run out of time here. So folks, that's all there is to it. It's up to you now how you finish. You're going to come in here and going to pull up the corner like this and pull up these little chunks of grass. See how you're just pulling up the grasses like that? And then you finish it with your script brush or one of the other sizes of these chisel edge brushes to kind of make the single weeds come up. Put some up in here, in this corner a little bit. Okay, folks, we're almost there. And every painting is open to interpretation. How you decide you want to finish it. Once you get the kind of base in there, now take your script brush. I wanted to make sure you got these in there, or I'll show you how to get them in there, not to be afraid of, because this scares people too. See, now this, the reason for this to be like this, because you want to pull these weeds up now in front of that log. Coming out of the stuff you just put in, you just kind of squiggle, kind of move and manipulate your brush to create these little seed pods, and you just kind of hesitate and just make those little seed pods on the end. I love this effect. See, hold your brush in circular motion, go like this. So now that contrast sets up against that log, it sets the log down, makes it a little, and look, makes some little tall ones there. Remember, you're kind of, if you were the photographer or whatever, you're kind of out here in the foreground and looking kind of through this grass. So these front ones can be just pretty tall, actually. I'm going to get in here and get a couple of real tall ones. A couple more here. Little seed pods. That's a hesitation stroke at the end. You just kind of put some little pressure on it. Yeah, it makes a little pods that looks really good in there. It's just like the real thing. I love doing this stuff with the script brush. I know I get too excited probably about it, but only an artist would get excited about a weed. Nice tall ones over here in the corner to be your eye stopper and a little more interest. See pods again. Get some color up in there. Put a few in here too, because you know these would pick up some back in there. But it also helps you just start seeing everything, tying everything together. Get a couple down in this corner over here. Don't be afraid to put a lot of movement. See how I've got a lot of movement in my brush? A lot of times you guys get a little stiff. I've noticed that in a lot of my students here. You paint a little straight. I want to give you a little hint. Work with your wrist and your fingers. If you lock your shoulder, you're going to paint. I mean, if you got up, it's all in the wrist action. Sometimes you paint like this, like a robot. And you don't want to do that. See, it's all down. I lock my shoulders almost a second. And you just work from the wrist. Okay, I'm going like this. But if you do it like this, like the wrist, all you get is real stiff strokes. And I guarantee you'll be a lot happier if you don't do that. Now, on these lines, I also have the whiskers. And now you take the white with the same brush, and you just kind of take your brush like this, and you just pull out. Drag and skim it along the edge like that, where you just barely see the whiskers sticking out there. Looks really good, I think. You can hear it, my hand sliding and just skimming, picking up the edge of the tooth on the canvas there, and it makes it a little softer. There's a little whiter spot right on the top of his nose there. It's important. You can put a little dot in the eye if you want to. Take your finger and blur it downward, and you can kind of see a little highlight there. I'll do a little thing on hers just a little bit as well. And I'll put a few little whiskers coming off of this one too. Folks, it's been a fun painting. I know it's been a little more complicated, maybe some other, a little boring for some of you, but it's been so much fun. Just have fun finishing up. You can even put little flowers, you can put little pebbles and rocks. The sky's the limit what you can do with a painting like this. The key is to make sure you're not afraid to go back in there and do whatever you're comfortable with. And the only thing I would do any different right now is take my script brush and just put little skinny lines of highlight on the very tips to give those final hairs a little bit of cap highlight, what we call capping, and the little curly movements, little single hairs where the sun would hit it, kind of flip it up. Folks, I hate to stop because I want to keep working, but we've got to quit now. We're going to start a brand new painting on our tour of America next time. So God bless you. Stay inspired. Keep painting.